Hello everybody, and so this is the second video today, Friday morning, of the What Did I Play This Thursday from last night's Board Game Club. I'm doing them separately. I thought it might be more interesting to put them up separately. So this game, I've got this game. Yes, it's probably visible to you on screen. So this is a Days of Wonder game. I've had it for a long time. We've not got it to the table. It does play it too as well, so I'm not sure if I will put this video up until I manage to get it played with Bear, and then we'll do a proper review on it. But somebody brought it last night, and oh really? Yeah, let's play that, said I. So it's got a bit of a bad rep, maybe, this one, as one of the least interesting games by Days of Wonder, but I I enjoyed it. We played it as a 3. The game is Cargo Noir. So it's down here. I don't know if you can see that on camera, but yeah. Again, as usual, Days of Wonder, nice production, really nice kind of little miniatures in there, or miniatures, pieces. Nice board quality, coins, really good quality, and things like that. The box, everything, the graphics, graphic design, production is through the roof as usual. But I guess it's fairly simple to play, and so maybe that's why people think, oh, I don't know if it's really very good. I actually enjoyed it a lot. We played it as a 3. The other players enjoyed it a lot too. And really speaking, it's a kind of worker placement game, which is strange because the guy that brought it doesn't like worker placement games, and he's like, oh, this is kind of a worker placement game, isn't it? But we were all enjoying it, so interesting. And I guess this is why it's kind of a bit of a I don't know, white elephant, as far as people thinking it's a good game or not. Very simple premise again with this game. So you've got a board, and it's a double-sided board. Changes the amount of resources that you can get, depending on whether it's a 4 or 5 or 3 or 2-player game. So you flip the board into the right thing, and it's just got different segments that have resources on them, and they're just different countries. So Shanghai and I can't remember what they were. Amsterdam, Macau. I don't know. Anyway, countries, places, and it's all about basically your gangsters trying to kind of shift and buy and move on contraband, basically cigars, guns, uranium, gold, alcohol, whatever, and so you lay out tiles on these certain countries in the spaces provided, and those are the resources that you're all fighting over. And then you've each got, so we had 7 coins each and 3 these little sort of boats, and the idea is that you're kind of going in and getting a cargo and then going back to your distribution center and getting rid of the stuff and making loads of money. So you've got these 3 boats, 7 coins, and the game starts with you kind of seeding the board, and then you kind of do that every go as well, but the first time is just kind of like a getting it ready. And what you do, you place out a certain number of money on a location that you want to get the goods from. So let's say we're going to wherever it was, Amsterdam. I think in a 2-player game, 3-player game, there was nothing on Amsterdam. It was on the other side for a 4 or 5-player game. But anyway, so you go to Amsterdam, and there are some cars and cigars and alcohol on that, and you want to get those. So you put, say, 3 coins down and your little boat. That's your bid for that area. And then you could say do the same, 2 coins for another location, or 4 coins, whatever. You put that down, and that's your bid for that area and those goods. Or you can go to, there's a section where you can draw a good from the bag, and or, no, not and or, yeah, and or, swap one of your goods for another good in this kind of array. There's eight goods in there. So if you were collecting gold, and there was some gold in there, and you had some spare alcohol, you could swap that out if you've got a man there, a boat there. So it's, like I say, the worker placement aspect of it. The other one is you can place into the casino. This is in Macau, the casino, where you just place a boat, and for every time you've got a boat there, you get 2 coins, gold coins, not gold. Don't confuse that. You get 2 gold coins for being there, so it's like a casino gambling. That's the way of getting the money. Now, the money, the coins, is literally just for you to do that kind of seeding and bidding for those spaces. When you get those goods on your little player board, I'll take an aside at this point, the player boards are nicely produced, but a little bit dated in as much as not necessarily PC. So, for instance, there are Mexicans, and they're called Tres Hombres or whatever. And then that's a ZZ Top album. Anyway, and then there's a Chinese gang, and they're called, I don't know, it's something not politically correct. And then there's an Arabian gang, and they're not necessarily politically correct. So it's a little bit kind of, I don't know if they get away with it these days. It's not awful, it's not terrible, but it's just a little bit kind of, maybe that should be said now. But it is what it is. It's a time, I don't know when it was produced, this game. Easily 2000 probably. So yeah, probably nowadays they probably change it a little bit to make it a little bit more PC. But anyway, so you've got your playing board, and on your playing board you can hold up to six of these contraband type goods, and along the bottom of the player board you've got a trade in value. So if you've got six different goods equals, let's say, 9 points, 9 victory points, and you use those victory points to buy luxury goods, and or again we'll go into that in a second. And so that's the kind of crux of the game, is that you're after victory points to buy goods, and each of the goods have got victory points on them as well. So the gold and the coin that you get, the gold coins that you get, are only for bidding on the board. They're not for buying the luxury goods. You use the contraband and trade them in for your points and your goods. So that's a distinction that was not obvious when we first started playing. It was to the guy that was teaching us, but he didn't mention it. And just after a couple of goes, I see, right, yeah, that's okay. So you've got your 6 things that you can collect. As you go through the game, as I say, you can kind of trade that. If you've got 3 the same, they're better than 3 different, and so on. You get, there's like a little 1 of this equals this, 2 of this equals this, 3 of this equals this, and if they're the same, it's more value than if they're different. And you trade those goods in and buy things, and some of the things you can buy are, you can buy more ship space, more storage space. Actually, it's probably not ship space. No, it's not ship space, it's storage space in your dock, I guess. So you can buy more storage space that costs 10 victory points. So you trade in some of your things for one of those, gives you 2 extra spaces. You can go from 6 to 8. You can do that again and get up to 10. Or you can buy another ship. So in a 3-player game, we have 3 ships, but there are another 2 available to you. So you could trade in your goods for another ship, which gives you another worker placement ship for the next round and things like that. So it's obviously a big thing to do in worker placement games, is to get more of your workers, ships in this case. So you can buy those things, or then you could just buy luxury goods. So you could buy a yacht for 15, say, and that gives you 15 victory points at the end of the game. You can buy a nightclub for 20, and that will give you 20 victory points at the end of the game. Some of the things are a little bit more expensive. For instance, I think you can buy I can't remember what they were. Small island, let's say. You can buy a small island for 50, and it will give you 55 victory points at the end of the game. So the higher price you pay, the slightly more victory points they get you. I think we ended up with about 100 victory points at the end of the game, so you're kind of aiming for that sort of thing. And another one of the I'll keep that thought that I just had. So that's kind of the way that the game plays. So you put out your place where you want to win, and then the next player does the same. So for instance, if I put 3 coins down on Amsterdam for the goods there, and my little ship's on top of 3 coins, the next player could put 4 coins and put their ship on top of that. They've outbid me, and they're going to get those goods, unless somebody outbid them, of course. So you each place your coins, comes back round to you. If you're the only person in that space, and or you've outbid anyone else, whatever, you get those goods. You pay the money into the bank, you get those goods, and your man comes back, your ship comes back to you. You do that with all your ships, you resolve all your kind of winnings or not. If somebody's outbid you, you get your money back, and you don't get those goods because they're going to get them. So you resolve all your ships, you get all your goods, and then, so that's your kind of taking your workers back, and then you have to put them back out again, ready for the next go. You can either, you think, well, I've used up all my money, so I'm going to go to the casino and get some money, or I want to swap some of the goods I've got in this last round, so I'm going to go there where I can swap goods, or do a dip in the bag for a blind good. or you can go back out and bid on other spots with the money that you've got left, if you've got any left. And during that phase where you're placing stuff back out, you can actually, like I say, trade in your goods that you've got, depending on whether they're the same or different, for the value, and get some extra ship space, extra storage space, luxury yachts for points, things like that. And then it goes back to the next player's turn, and he resolves his winnings or ships or whatever, gets them back, gets his money, gets his casino, gets his dips in the bag, gets his I won that space coins into the bank and things like that. So it just keeps going round and round and round like that. So you're outbidding each other for spaces. And I guess that's why it got a bit of a slating, because it's a little bit kind of samey, mechanical, a little bit simple, but actually quite good and quite... It's a bit take-thatty, obviously, because you're blocking people and thinking, oh, I want all that gold this in that space, so I'm going to bid 4, and I know you can't outbid me because you've only got 4 yourself, and you have to go to 5 if you want to get there, so I'm going to go there, haha. So you know that they're going to have to just take their coins back, and you've won that spot unless somebody else comes in with 6 or 4, whatever. So it's quite good, the sort of bidding mechanism to get the space, and you can see what other people are going for on their playing board. So again, you can do that, kind of blocking each other off from getting their contraband to make sets and things. And obviously, again, you can also see what they're making points wise, and so, ooh, I need to start buying some luxury goods because they're getting ahead of the game here. And of course, that's the whole point, is the victory points at the end of the game. So you can see what's going on. I'll take that. It's only it was 11 rounds, but it's quite quick. So it doesn't take long. We played a 3-player game, 11 rounds in about 40 minutes, I think, something like that. So yeah, really nice little game and good production value. These lovely little ships that you've got. So yeah, nothing to not like really, apart from, yeah, I guess it's a little simple. So maybe if you match it up to, say, The River, which is another Days of Wonder game that's it's called The River, yeah, which is quite simple. But that doesn't matter if it's an enjoyable game and it's easy to remember how to play it and get it to the table and play as a 2 to 4 or 5 player game. Great, and that goes up to 5, I think. So yeah, why not? I like it. Cargo Noir gets a thumbs up from me, even though some people slate it. It's a nice, simple, fun game. Good production. Well produced, that's what I'm trying to say. So there we are. Hopefully that's been informational to you. Cargo Noir is not as bad as people say, I would say. So I'm definitely going to keep hold of it, and I'm going to sell it, which is kind of why we played it last night. The guy was considering selling it, and he couldn't remember if he'd played it or liked it, so he decided the same. He's not going to sell his. Good. Okay, so there we are, Cargo Noir. This is what I played this Thursday. Thanks very much for watching, people. I'll see you on the next one. Ta-da.